China has increasingly been blocking Google's services in the country, making it very hard to do business. Erin, is it worth it for tech companies to do business in China?
I mean, I think we've seen over the years that it is not. A lot of American tech companies, and these are big ones, these are not even startups, have gone into China and basically had to retreat because they've realized they can't compete with the Chinese government and with the existing incumbents there. And so we've seen Amazon, eBay, the social sites, Twitter and Facebook are basically non-existent.
And Yahoo.
Right, and Yahoo. And so Google has had a 30% market share, and they've seen it shrink down to like 10% in search. So that's really a problem. That's a challenge.
It is a challenge, but here's the problem that I see it. They got to get in this market, right? So the Chinese market is where all these companies are seeing growth. That's the next frontier for them. 10 years ago, the Chinese market, 7% were on the internet. 7%, and now it's almost half. What's really scary, that half is twice the amount of people that's in the United States. So you've got a ton of people, and if you're Google, you're Yahoo, you're somebody, you got to get in there. You got to do business.
Well, the worst thing about this is the way that the Chinese government is blocking these services. Unlike with, say, Twitter and Facebook, which are barely existent, Google is available, but it's just extremely slow. So Chinese internet users go onto Google and they just think it's a crappy service. Meanwhile, Google's bending over backwards, moving its servers out of the country, trying to use encrypted search, trying to do all these things to speed up its service, but it just sucks there.
Yeah, and they don't want to cede any ground to these homegrown rivals, right? You've got Alibaba that just went public. Their market cap is way, way ahead of Amazon's, even just freshly public. If these companies don't get into China, they're going to lose ground from the homegrown.
And you've actually seen this with companies like Amazon now moving aggressively into India because they're like, all right, if we can't do China, at least let's try to do India. But I think a lot of American companies have decided it's not worth it. Maybe they'll change their mind in the future. But if Google can't do it, then definitely no startup or any other company smaller than that can.
Fair point. For one show you can never block, come to fortune.com for more tech debate.